Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how I make my zipper pouch. This is my go-to pattern of making it. It's a free pattern on the internet, so if you want to make yours like mine, then you can choose that. I've sewn in one side, sandwiched my zipper and sewn it in on one side, and I've pinned my second side ready to sew. I'm using my zipper foot because I like to use these by Annie Zips. They have quite a wide outside of the teeth, and I don't want a lot of the fabric showing, so I'm just going to sew it in a little bit further with my zipper foot. I use my tweezers to align my three pieces. If my zipper goes in a bit further than I want it to, it's not aligned properly, I use my tweezers and just pull it out. I'm going to box the bottom of the corners on this one as well. And somebody asked me on my drawstring pouch if I boxed them together or separately, boxing them separately, and this will show how I do that. So you can use this one for the drawstring, how I box the corners for the drawstring pouch as well. Using the zipper foot, sometimes your fabric will move a bit more than if you're using your normal foot, and I use my tweezers to help with that as well. When I get to this part, if you choose to make it like mine, this is how she does it in the pattern. You're stopping 3/4 of an inch. It might be an inch, I don't know, I forget, but I've been making these for quite some time now, and I do 1/4 of an inch on the end there. So I've pulled my zip away from the edge, and I'm just going to sew across the fabric now, and not and the back stitch at the end. I'm going to change my foot to my walking foot because I prefer to use that with the layers. Now I've got my zips attached, I'm going to put my outside pieces together and my lining pieces together. I'm going to start sewing at the bottom. You could certainly pin this. I'm going to wing it for this time. I'm going to do what I said that I do on my drawstring pouch, and I start from the outside edge, stitch in 3 stitches, back stitch, and come back in again, then start sewing around. When I come to the piece I've chopped out to box my corners, I just scoot across, leaving my thread attached, and come up the side. You can box your corners whatever size you want. These ones on this one are 5/8 of an inch. I've boxed this corner. So it's just a little bit. Doesn't matter which way your seams go here. Once again, I use my tweezers and put that under there. I've probably told this story on another video, but once I sewed over my finger, putting it too close underneath the foot, you can see that I had a little bit more bulk on this one than on the other one. I'm just edging it under. A back stitch across to this next corner, back stitch again, Today, Emily and I went to the Annemiek Min display exhibition at our local gallery here, and she came away saying that she was inspired to do some craft, and so we've both come home. I'm doing this, and we then went to the library and she got a book about drawing, so she's doing some drawing while I do this. Then I think we're going to do some crochet. Stop sewing that's about 3.5 inches maybe. Gap to turn it inside out. Again, I went out to the edge with my stitching and back again. As I said, that allows me to turn in the gap nicely. Now I just snip those pieces from the corners. Pull my bag out, line up the two seams. I put a pin from one line of stitching and bring it out on the other line of stitching. That makes my seam be aligned correctly, hopefully. Just stitch across with 1/4 inch. I like to go back across again and then again. If your project's big enough, you can just get your next corner and put it under. If it's a smaller project, you might have to stop and this one certainly works. I'm going to chop the stitching between the two. And come around and do the same to my linings. Lining up my seam. When it's just two pieces of fabric, you can feel where your seams are butting, and I'm not as fussy with my lining because nobody's going to see that. If I'm a bit out of a line with that, then that's okay. Now I'll pull my bag through the lining. Hopefully I remembered to leave your zip open. You need to leave the zip open in order to do this. My friend once said that this was like giving birth, so you're birthing your bag. And because I'm trying to do it quickly, it's good job you can't see my face on camera when I'm doing this, because I pull a few crazy faces. I'd love to pause it and come back, but I don't have that technology. When I make these bags, I also make my lining 1/2 inch shorter than my outside. Then when I push it in, I won't have any bulk left in the bottom. So we've pulled it through. That's my bag with its zipper attached. I put a piece on the end of my zip, the same as the pattern says to do. Then I turn it inside out and top stitch around the top. So I've got the inside in underneath my foot, and I can sew around on the inside with top stitching. So I'm hoping that will help you make either this zipper pouch or the drawstring one with the boxing in the bottom, because the drawstring one is basically the same. Instead of inserting a zip, you're inserting your casing. Thanks for watching.